Courage is forged only through facing one's fears, just as steel must be refined by fire. For faith to grow is often has to be tested by fire, family. God expresses more concern for his children than for their comfort. Therefore, God uses evil and suffering to facilitate the believer's moral and spiritual maturity. The Apostle Paul, who endured much evil and suffering, explains the causal relationship between suffering and character in Romans 5:3. A loving earthly father disciplines his children. Though unpleasant at times, discipline is crucial to a child's growth as a responsible person. God allows the evil and the suffering to bring about discipline in the lives of his children. As the writer of Hebrews declares, endure hardship as discipline. God is treating you as sons in Hebrews 12:7. However, the assuring guarantee for the Christian is that God does not allow even evil and suffering to come into a Christian's life without producing a greater good for that person. The Apostle Paul set forth that divine promise, family, in Romans 8:28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. With that said, facing evil and suffering is never easy, even if the person knows that God is ultimately in control. Genesis 5:20, as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good in order to bring about the present result to preserve many people alive. Furthermore, family, in Hebrews chapter 12, I'm going to read you 9-21. Furthermore, we have had human fathers who corrected us, and we paid them respect. Shall we not much more readily be in subjection to the Father of spirits and live? For they indeed for a few days chastise us as seemed best to them, but he for our profit, that we may be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastising seems to be joyful for the present, but painful. Nevertheless, afterwards it yields the peaceable fruit of the righteousness to those who have been trained by it. Therefore strengthen the hands which hang down and the feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet, so that what is lame may be dislocated, but rather be healed. Pursue peace with all people, and holiness, without which no one will see the Lord. Look carefully lest anyone fall short of the grace of God, lest any root of bitterness springing up cause trouble, and by many became defiled, lest there be any fornicator or profane person like Esau, who for one morsel of food sold his birthright. For you know that afterward, when he wanted to inherit the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place for repentance, though he sought it diligently with tears. For you have not come to the mountain that may be touched and that burn with fire, and to blackness and darkness and tempest, and the sound of the trumpet, and the voice of words, so that those who heard it begged that the word shall not be spoken to them any more, for they could not endure what was commanded. And if so much as a beast touches the mountain, it shall be stoned or shot with an arrow. And so terrifying was the sight that Moses said, I am exceedingly afraid and trembling.